So as far as you know that it's already mentioned that I have a lot of experience, almost 20 years of experience playing with the different software development. So that's why we decided to bring me, as I'm the old one and still playing with the AI. So because I did it with the small teams and the big teams as well. But idea is to tell you how to play with the AI, how to use it for your development. And it's not only about the small teams, it's as well for the big teams, but still it's how powerful it is that many opportunities become open for teams which are using the AI in a very, very efficient way. So as you know, this idea is to have some kind of a agent engineer who does some code for you. It's not so new to the market. A lot of the companies try to make some kind of automation to provide some coding of agentic person who can help you and resolve some kind of small tasks. But we have a lot of the players on the market as well. The players who have the big teams doing big projects, huge projects, 40,000 people which are working only and developing the only project. And there is a lot of the problems how to embed the AI as a part of the development. Why I'm talking about these small teams? Because looking to the small teams, it's so easy to involve the AI into their development process. And my idea right now that the small and efficient teams, which have a couple of people knowing the AI agents and using the AI agents tools in their daily job, become highly efficient. And now it's not about the team size as it was before, when you can bring a lot of people working, under the big project, and this like a headcount is not about the success that you can achieve. As I mentioned, it's about the leverage. And AI not only does the productivity per person, it drastically changed the idea how the software can be developed. And it's not about changing the idea of how particularly the developer who doing the code change his behaviors working with the code. This is mostly an idea how the whole team switch into another paradigm compared to what they did before. So why I'm trying to express this? Because I'm working in the very different environments and worked in the different environments with different approaches. So let's say it was not only coding approaches, but as well it was overall project approaches and some project management approaches with a lean and non-lean technology to make something. But AI changed everything, even the roles that you need in your projects right now. So when I started to see all the marketing around about the AI and the AI agents, which can do a lot in the development field. So how we dream, how it can work. And if you're looking to some kind of a modern platforms like Lovable or Replit, so they have a lot of opportunities to convert the project managers who can build as well prototypes. And I think that many companies using that. And our expectation was, okay, now project managers can do more. They can build prototypes. The marketers can deploy the API, and designers can as well, with a Lovable or another tool, can create like a full stack apps. And that was an expectation. And many people who are not deep in the development, they think in this way that you can just bring the team, and this team switching the roles will go into something different compared that they did before. So like technical barriers are not exist anymore. So, but reality is different. Some of these things are really exist on the market, and some people are really too smart to also do something which goes, let's say, beyond the barrier of their opportunities because of the AI. But in real life, when you do that with the people who are professional in something, they just do the job different. So they just ping each other expecting the same results, but these results like should be made with the AI. And in that case, AI just makes this ping pong between the different team players faster. So let's say if we go to the project managers and they automate their job with the agents, they do it in a way how they understand the idea of their work. So let's say if I have some pattern how I operate, I will just transfer this pattern to the agent which did my work as himself, right, as a project manager. So that's why we need some kind of a framework how these people can operate in this new environment, having the AI agents at the background for their job. And there is some kind of AI agents which are appeared on the market long time ago, like a GitHub Copilot, Code-5, StarCoder, and so on. But all of those becomes, this area, the growth of the AI coding agents area, it grows very fast, almost exponentially. And some tools which were, let's say, the most known and the most important for this productivity, they become not so effective in 2 years because new projects arise. And, this is old tools, and I just want to present them. They're still okay, but for now, all the developments switch to the much more complicated tools like the Codex and the Cloud Code, which we are using in the yellow right now almost everywhere. And it's not only about the coding, it's as well for the project management, for the project automation. Because when we talking about some kind of coding agents, we are talking about the CLI coding agents. And as far as they appear on the market, compared to some solution like a Windsurf or Cursor, which were the, let's say, pioneers in this field. Now the Windsurf and Cursor cannot compete in efficiency compared to the Cloud Code and the Codex as well, which performs very well. I mean, this is like a CLI tool from the OpenAI. And, it becomes that new era of the coding tools or agent tools comes after that. So let's say we have the Cloud Code, and the history of the Cloud Code is just, I don't know, it's 6 months. It's 6 months exists in the market. But on the top of this framework of the Cloud Code, there is a new solution which is called Super Cloud. And this is significantly changed the idea how you can develop with the cloud. So what I'm saying that the evolution of tools goes so fast that in every 6 or 3 months, we're having some kind of a new tool which provides a better code, the better efficiency, the better context handling. And, right now, if you look into the sources of the cloud, what it does, it's just scraping the code around the different files, checking the dependencies, building the context, and then apply the prompt. So working in that way, you can extend the prompt or system prompt to the huge values. And it will give you the opportunity to generate and operate with the huge code bases. So let's say if you're extended to the 56 tokens of code. It's pretty huge code base that you can feed, that can feed into the cloud code context. So it's almost, let's say, a big application. And I think that the problem of the some kind of a huge code bases, it will be resolved quickly, because a lot of the large language models become bigger and bigger. I mean, their context become bigger and bigger, and one day it will just take the code of your whole code base and place it into the prompt. So what I'm saying that these agentic tools and large language models are evolving too fast, and at the end, it's very hard to compete with them as a human being, because they analyze so much code at once and can generate so much code at once that you cannot outperform them as a human. But look into that, the white coding appeared just a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, it's become popular. But now it's not just the white coding, it's how the modern software gets built. Because I see no other approach right now which can compete with the AI and agentic code build. And I'm doing maybe 6 projects right now, participating in different projects, open source as well. And what I'm doing right now, almost everything, 95% of my job is just the AI babysitting. It's just working with the CLI engine, doing the changes in the code, verifying this code, bringing the ideas to this code. It's not like it was in the old-fashioned way, when you just knowing all the code base. So, but still, this switch to this totally white coding model requires a lot of knowledge to verify that the code generated by these machines are really good. And because, if you have this babysitting with AI, you will get poor results. And I tell you why, because machines, they do not care about the requirements a lot. They can catch the idea in a short context and implement this idea in a code, but then they don't care about, is it correct or not, is it working or not. And that's why you need to apply special techniques how to work in this environment. I mean, forcing the system to verify results in a different ways. And as well, it's a necessity to ask the system write the tests, not only unit tests, but as well end-to-end tests, because this process help AI and AI CLI tools to verify what was generated. And this is bulletproof approach, and I tested it many times, that sometimes you have no time to write the test for your code because of the deadlines and so on. But working with the AI CLI agents, I'm totally sure you have no other option to do not generate the test. You must generate the test, because all the code generated, you cannot keep eye always on all of the code generated. So that's why you need to verify these results. Another good thing, that as far as we use an AI agent, the engineers, whatever the backend or front-end engineers, they become not just the experts, but super experts. What I'm talking about. So if you are good in the Node.js or Rust or Go, whatever, you will be good as well in any other backend technology, because the language, programming language, it's about the semantic, it's about the code construction and so on. But if you have all the paradigms in your mind, how to write the code, if you are very good with some kind of object-oriented programming, it will be easy for you to switch between these technologies. So let's say if you are a good Python developer, you can easily transform to the Node.js developer and develop in the same quality as you do it with the Python. And I think now it works, this like a cross-operational feature of the AI, that you can take any other technology which you have never used before. So let's say something not so usual for you, and switch to it using these CLI tools, just doing the commands in the way that the language you have in your mind. So if you are experienced in the Python, you will anyway think how the Python does this construction. But if you give same commands and ask to write on a TypeScript or on a Rust, you will get pretty the same result. Because as I said, the concepts of the backend development is pretty the same for each of the language. Yeah, there is a differences, but most of them are pretty close to each other from the idea perspective. Same happens on the front-end side. So if somebody good in Vue.js, he will easily switch to React using these CLI tools. So what I'm saying that right now, when you're choosing the technology, you should not stick to something which your team knows. If you know that something like Rust is very effective, use it, because your backender, if it's really good, he can easily switch on it. Anyway, he will need some, let's say, background to know how it works. But there is no need to make a deep, to have a deep knowledge of this language right now to make a project. I tested by myself, so I never programmed on the Rust before. I knew how it works, but I had not so much experience. And it was like 1 week for me to switch on it because of the good knowledge of Node.js and Python as well. So I just switched in a week and continued to develop, knowing all these things like cargo and so on. So what I'm saying, that if you have the team of the developers right now, it will be not so complicated to switch them to some other technology using the agents. So, but the problem is that the people who are working in a project, they have a different expertise. Some of them are pretty fast and they can verify and operate with their CLI agent in a very fluent way. And, but some of them are not so efficient. And the problem is when you go and work in the team environment, when you need to generate a lot of code, so it becomes very complicated to follow the changes which is made by your teammates. So let's say, I just calculated some numbers. So for the last 2 months and the 2 projects, working with the AI, I did almost 400 commits per month. So it's a lot, really a lot. Because previously I did, 25, sorry. And the amount of the lines is really huge. And I cannot even imagine how complicated it will be to follow the changes that I'm doing for another teammates. As well, my teammates working with the AI, and they also generate the code. And it's become a new frontier how to follow these changes, because 3 or 4 days passing on a project and code base changed drastically because of the AI, which highly involved in the project. So there is no some kind of a solution right now, but we have some kind of a process in yellow. So we're using the AI as well to review the commits, and we share some files which are stored in the history about the changes in the code, and we're forcing the CLI to use this history every time when AI does the changes. So this is the approach which we're following right now, because as I said, it's drastic change compared to how much code we did before, especially compared to the productivity. Now I think we maybe tripled our speed and efficiency compared to the old approach when we do this code manually. But still, this is somehow kept with their human abilities. Yeah, the AI agent can generate the code, 24/7, but humans are not. And still, humans working as operators, they operate with the AI doing the code. And look into some kind of efficiency. I reviewed multiple videos with the Chinese developers, and I was really impressed because a lot of them, they are opening like a 7 or 10 windows with the CLI tools and making the requests in parallel. So they changing the project, different aspects of the projects using the different agents running in parallel. Yeah, it's tricky, but it's also some technique which can be used to improve the personal performance. So that's why compared to your single window development, if you do the multiple agents, or you can create the sub agents, which are doing a lot of work. So let's say making the code, verifying the code, writing tests, running the tests in a parallel, and so on. So it becomes even more effective. And this is the way how it will be in the future when you use not like a single agent to produce the code, but multiple and sequential use of agents to keep your code in shape and make new changes in the code. So this is some kind of a notice to the enterprise and legacy development. So they still, a lot of the enterprises which I saw, and it was really big companies, they stuck a bit with this old approach, making the code manually. And still they're having no some kind of a guidance. How can they embed the AI into their pipeline of code production? And I think that they can still do the AI with some kind of a pilot projects and learn, because I totally understand how to make these changes in the small team, but it's very complicated to understand how to make it on a huge code base. And that's why many enterprises, they don't want to risk at all. They just prefer to make it in the old way and just using some small involvement of the AI tools in their daily job. But still, as I said, it's mostly about the time, because moving forward, it will be much easier for them as far as the new CLI agents or coding agents appear on the market, covering more and more code bases and understanding the coding workflows. So the very good approach, which I'm really appreciated, is because it was shown to me that if you are using some kind of a ready-made framework, the efficiency of the AI coding become much higher. And I tell you why, because framework makes some kind of a constraints and limits for the AI agent or CLI agent how to make the code. Because framework, it's about the standards. And if you are asking to write a code right away with some framework, I don't know, Nest.js, fast API for the Python, whatever. So the application will be created according to these guidelines and the specs, which are restricting you to the particular approaches. So let's say if you want to build some kind of microservices on the Nest.js, there's not so many ways how you can do that. And if you're applying the Nest.js and asking for the microservices and generate the microservices infrastructure for you with the CLI tool, it will be totally aligned with the guidelines how you should do it on not Nest.js. And it will be not some random approach which can be selected by the AI agent. So frameworks really extend your abilities in terms of the standards and the approach which you can use in your team, because everybody aligned about this approach. So related to the speed, because speed is matters, and now the AI agents, they are not so fast. As you know, they're limited by the large language models, which are working in the background of any CLI agent. And you can see the amount of the token that they can output per second. It's not so huge, so like 100 tokens. But I think this is just a temporary problem, because all the agentic code will go to the much more faster inference soon, like a Cerebras. You can try it right now, and if you are using not cloud code, but something like some other agent like a Kimi, you can connect the Cerebras and see how it works with the Qwen3 coder. So it's extremely fast, and when you're doing the task, it's like 4 or 7 seconds just to perform any task. So it's extra fast, and it is well extra good, because the Qwen coder is very good model at the end, and the abilities of the Qwen coder is very, very close to the Claude 4 Sonnet, and it's much cheaper as well. But still, I'm highly impressed how fast the code can be generated compared to the other CL agents. So speed really matters, and ultra-fast inference, they become more and more widespread, and I think the situation with their code generation speed will change drastically in the next 6, maybe more months, because a lot of such ultra-fast inference appears on the market more and more. You can plug it via the open router right now. So another point, which is about the running the ideas. And right now in yellow, we have some kind of an approach when client goes to us and said, okay, please develop some POC for me. And usually, we took 1 week to create some kind of a very simple POC, or 2 weeks. Right now, we have some kind of approach which we call AI project in 5 days. And it's not just a POC, it's like an MVP that we can launch in such short time period. And it's mostly the mix of the rapid prototyping and the implementation and the specification generation and automatic deployment processes that we already established using our pre-made tools. But still, we're using our pre-made framework built on a Nest.js, and then we apply some kind of a technique to build in a short time the MVP. We're using that approach for maybe 1 or 2 months, just trying to fit into the market with this ultra-fast application development and delivery. And for now, we delivered only 1 project with this approach. Still, it's MVP, but it looks very promising. So I think that the approach, when you have these changes in or you can create the project in a couple of days and verify your idea, I think it's also the different approach how the new business can appear on the market. And it's significant change compared to the long-term development, when you need to compete with somebody as well who does this development in parallel with you. But still, this is the way how the new applications will be built. And the overall idea that we can unlock these business horizons, you need to shift from the traditional development thinking to agentic first paradigm thinking. Because AI agents, they can handle routine work, and now it's not just a routine work, it's mostly about all the work under the project. But still keeping the humans which I call like AI babysitters. And it's mostly about to focus on strategy and creativity from the human sides, but rely a lot of the agents because of the performance, because of the clarity, because of the some kind of abilities that human cannot do right now. I mean, even knowing the programming languages, any AI agent, I'm totally sure that it knows the programming language abilities more than any human right now. So the idea is to change this paradigm and change the thinking, how you develop the software, in order to make this David, Laker and Halias struggle in a bit different way, right? Because it's not about to fit into the market right now only. It's about to, this is my last slide, I'm telling you thank you, but this is about the small teams, a couple of people can do great things because of this approach, because of this paradigm shift, which happened for the last years in the coding and development industry. So I took additionally 5 minutes more, sorry for that, but still we have a time for the questions.
Thank you very much, Dmitry. Thank you everyone for your attention. So now it's time for the questions. If you have one, just raise your hand. Leslie is writing something. Dmitry, do you see his question in the journal?
I can read it as well.
Okay.
The capabilities, with the capabilities evident with AI, have developers potentially lost their capability of original thought? If all similar organizations follow a similar approach, does it not to begin to standardize the best approach to code? Is it upskilling developers or downskilling developers? This is a very good question. Definitely, I think that the original thought is still present, and I don't think that AI took the ability to generate the original ideas, and there is a lot of proofs of that. So I think that the AI works. I mean, the AI approach, building the code with the AI, is very good solution for the senior developers, because they can have like internal metrics and measure the quality of the code and the quality of the solution, and they can fix it all. So what I'm saying that senior developers, maybe some CTO level developers as well, which are doing their job for a long time, they definitely get some kind of abilities which are, you know, like a godlike, because in that case, it's one-man army. It's one-man army which can do more, understanding what is generated, and they can overcome even the whole team alone because of the AI and the good knowledge of the software, how the software should be built. So if I know the DevOps, if I know the coding abilities, if I know how to test software, I can do it alone right now. To be honest, in a one project, I'm generating a lot of the thing alone without having DevOps or testers all by myself, because I know how it works. So it's just extending my abilities, because in other case, I should hire somebody who will do the job for me, but now I don't need to hire somebody. So AI can do for me, yeah, it does it sometimes with the mistakes as well, as the people, as the humans do as well. But still, when I'm saying that agents become more and more robust replacement for people who are just entering into the market. And if we are talking about the down skills and up skills of the developers, I'm not sure about this question at all, if there are some kind of down skills. I think it's not about the skills that you can improve or lose. It's about how you can translate your current skills on something other. But if we are talking about some junior developers, it will be much harder for them to enter the market. Yeah, I think that Decrease doing the pretty much good explanation what I'm trying to deliver with my thoughts. Because the good thing that the AI technically prolongs the life for the experienced developers. Because, you know, previously frameworks appear in the market and you are having something which you are working a lot, like some framework for 10 years, and then some new frameworks appears in the market and you cannot follow this framework in a short time because you were stuck for this old framework. But now it's not a problem. As far as you are experienced in something, you can easily switch between any frameworks using the AI agents. So technically, it prolongs the life of the experienced developers more, but it reduces the abilities of the junior developers to jump into this market. So, because now to jump into this market, you need to know the patterns. You should be trained well. You should know the software principles a lot to jump on the market and compete with somebody, which was not the case before. I mean, the AI agents do the same right now because they know the patterns, they know the principles, and if you're a junior developer, you cannot compete with them. And the other problem, as far as we have the junior developers, so switching between different intellectual work, I'm not sure, do they have an opportunity to find a job at all? Because AI becomes so robust in the work which requires the intelligence that switching between these like a different job, AI will outperform you anyway. So this is the problem which market will face in the next couple of years, I think. Okay, so I will read next question. How do you balance educating AI to learn from what you know to truly ring-fencing your own knowledge and expertise and convincing clients you bring something different from any other average coder who knows how to use AI? Question here about the data and coding security. Oh, it's also a good question because right now it's very complicated to distinguish this difference between what's average coder offers using AI and the professional offers with AI. It's also a very good question because of this, previously we had this gap. So let's say the middle developer and the senior developer, which are having this gap of the knowledge and as well a lot of the experience on the top of the senior developer. But now this barrier become much lower because anyway, the average developer asks AI how to build anything. And overall, the principle of creating any project will be pretty much the same if you're getting the thoughts from the same AI, right? Whatever developer it will ask, senior or average, doesn't matter. So, but it's mostly about the details. Because when you go into details and you become to create this software, it becomes different. So like a devil in details. It's mostly about not the ideas, but it's mostly about the execution of these ideas. I mean, how you execute your ideas, how you perform with these ideas. And still, as I said, this area is pretty new and not so investigated from the different perspective. I mean, how the senior developers will affect that, how the middle developers will affect this new era of AI coding. It's still somewhere in the progress where we understand, because right now it's just a hypothesis how it can be. Related about data and coding security. Oh, this is as well very important part because AI doesn't care about the security at all. And it's mostly on the side of the developer to take care about the security, because if you are not mentioning about some security breach using the AI coding, it will never follow it. So, I mean, you should be this babysitter who should know how the security should be built on the project. Because without that, you have no opportunity to ask them, okay, write the secure code every time. It will not. I'm pretty sure it will not, because I did it many times. So building this security is something still in the mind of the developers. It's about the networking, it's about the databases, it's about the sanitizing, and so on and so on. Because if you are not prompting especially and verifying especially about the security, which is not a practice when you are operating with the AI agent, it will never do your code secure. And this is still an area where many startups are trying to play, bringing the security routines and security verification for the code, especially generated by the AI. So meanwhile, I mentioned the super cloud, and there is already some, because it's a new approach, even newer than the cloud code. It's about having the framework on the top of the AI agent. And the security is a big part of it. So yeah, it's maybe this is the answers that I can bring here. Okay, I think we are good. We are totally in line with the time. And if we have no more questions, okay, we have another one from the Leslie. Do you know turn down low-level projects? I can go build simple in minutes. Are you more confident going after complex and challenging projects? You just change the type of the projects you're winning. To be honest, I'm not understand the question totally. What's low-level project?
Like, I think what Leslie means is that do we think that we bring less value if the project is simple, right? Let's say someone comes to us and says, hey, we need a landing page. It makes no sense, basically, to make it in a custom way, unless it's very, very specific, right?
So it's 100% true, because let's say the low-level projects are totally can be satisfied with their abilities of the AI. I mean, you don't need some kind of bring somebody to build something very simple like a landing page or some simple game, because it can be totally generated by the AI right now. And it means that the market for the custom development becomes smaller as far as some kind of the projects are going out of this market at all. But it becomes different. I'm not saying that it will disappear. It just becomes different, and it transforms into another form. But still, the idea is not to reduce the amount of the developers. The idea is to make your projects faster and reach your goals in a much shorter times than it goes now. So, and sometimes I just came to the projects and see, okay, on these projects we have some kind of amount of the tasks which is exceed 1,000 tasks that we need to execute because of the technical depth. We are beyond the schedule, and sometimes you need to bring the AI here just to make this project align with the reality, right? To resolve the technical depth and so on. And it's still the approach that can be highly used to improve the existing projects and make them, let's say, survive in this very competitive world of the software development. All right. So.
All right. Thank you, Dmitry.
Yeah,
Do we have any other questions so far?
Okay.
So I don't see any hands.
No, there is a question from
We
Scott.
have a question from Scott. Yes.
It's nice. I like it. Do you see my fixer for project built with white code? Yeah. So I think this is additional market, because usually we have such people coming to us. So I did something with the white coding. I'm not professional, but I did something. So can you fix it and can you bring it to life and make it much more professional still? But at least I have this idea. I implemented this idea from the scratch, and it definitely helps us to understand client more. If the clients have this idea already designed, yeah, maybe not in the best way, but still they have much more than they had before, because before that, they come with empty hands, just describing the idea on the paper. But now, often they bring some kind of a prototype, which they do on a lovable Repli, which helps us a lot to understand and estimate the cost of the project. And it's not about the fixing, it's about to build the, let's say, full-size project compared to some initial idea that client have. Because, I never, if somebody can build a project, he do not need someone who will help him from the professional side, because he can do it by himself. But 90% of the client who are doing it with the vibe coding, they're just doing the very initial idea, then they come to us and we will just do the full-size project. And yes, this is definitely the market generation. I mean, this leads to generate some kind of a work for our market as well. Okay, thank you. I think we're covered everything. So
I hope so.
Anyway, if you have some additional questions or you want to know more, don't hesitate to ping us, and so all the time we are ready to help you with the software development, whatever it like AI driven or non-AI driven. But right now we are in a transformation phase where we transform our internal processes as well to align with this new AI-based and agents-based strategy.
Okay. Thank you, Dmitry. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Hope it was very interesting to you. Have a nice day or evening. See you. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.